Hey guys, this is the TrackTicks big print indicator. We're on the GC chart, 1 minute time frame, and you can see some maps that have started to play out or have played out throughout the session already. We'll jump into the indicator settings just to kind of have a look at what we can do with it, some of the options, some of the print options. All right, we're in. So individual trade print is the first print option. And essentially, this flags any single trade that's big enough on its own to clear the volume threshold down here. So our volume threshold is an important setting because it's going to dictate what size prints you're going to see on the chart. So we have it set at 22 at the moment, so you're only going to see prints at 22 plus. I'll jump off the individual trade prints. Currently, we got the buyers for the green and the sellers at the red, and essentially the individual trade print is just an individual participant's entry into the market. So it's kind of giving you an outlook on some bigger participants taking large contract sizes in one spot on the chart, just to give you an idea of some key levels and where some value might be when you're trading. We'll jump back into the indicator settings and we'll go to our second print option, which is the aggregated trades print. So this one is a little bit different in that it consolidates lots of trades at the same price level on the same side, and then it gives you a grouping at that price level if that is to accumulate and reach our threshold again, which is set here. So if you get an aggregated trade sprint, it means that consolidation of trades at the same price level on the same side have gone at your threshold plus or over. So ours is 25 at the moment. So we're only going to see prints at 25 plus. And I will note this timer until new count setting. This is going to, so once a consolidation and a print has happened, an aggregated trades print has happened on the chart, there'll be a count for 0.7 seconds until the next count can start. So that we're not having long continuous counts, we're actually trying to get some prints on the chart just to make sure we can see what's happening. I'll jump off again. We've got our light blue as the aggregated buys, and then we've got a purple for the aggregated sells. As you can see, they map really nice on the chart, super clear, and obviously this is the prints happen live, tick for tick, so it's really handy and it's a good tool to use. All right, I'll jump into the indicators settings again. So for the third and final feature, and this is one of my personal favorites, it's the delta since big print option. So I'll put the running net delta option on. I'll toggle that on. Don't pay too much attention to these settings here. So pretty much what the since last big print setting is doing is it's giving us a running delta count from any selected big print that's happened on the chart. So for example, look at this 23. I'll click that. Since last big print, buy 23. That was the big print we just clicked, and this is an individual buy. Our running delta count from there is negative 355. So that means it's it's heavy selling at the moment. This 23 orders didn't do anything to push the market up. So we can now tell that 23 orders pretty much got swallowed up and the sellers have taken over that move. So this is a really good tool to spot continuation or absorption. And you can pick any previous print that's happened already on the chart. For example, I'll click this 31 aggregated sells. Since last big print, sell 31, and it's giving us that running delta count from that print as well. So it will give us the running delta count until the latest point in time on our chart. And yeah, I really find this one useful when I'm trading. Like I said, it's one of my favorite options. We'll jump back into the indicator settings again, and we might just go over that customization quickly. It's all pretty straightforward with the customization. Obviously, like I said, you can change that threshold limit. So if you're in a higher volume session, like a New York session, and you probably want to go. You probably want to double this to 40 or maybe 50, just so you're not seeing all the smaller prints that probably aren't as relevant in a high volume session. You can change the base circle size. So, for example, if you want to go bigger, you can. You can have your prints bigger. I don't recommend it because the smaller your prints are, the more accurate they're going to be in accordance to where that trade actually came in on the chart, according to the tick. So I usually have them set at 10 because that's going to be more accurate and closer to a real representation of where that trade actually came in. But for interest sake, I'll apply, so we can have a look at how they change in size. You can see they've changed in size here. So if it makes it easy for you or you'd like to have them a little bit more clear on the chart, you can. Let's go back to that 15 setting for size, and then we'll have another look at some other customization. So we've got the standard color change. You can change these to whatever you like. Same with the aggregated. So you can have a visual representation in the colors that you want. Then you can do stuff like the outline color. So that's the outline on the big print. You can change that if you want to. The outline width, you can change that. You can bold the text. So we can click bold on the text just to make it a little bit more clearer. You can see it's bolded that text a little bit. You could turn the text off if you want to. I'm not sure why you would, because that's the most important information. You can change the text color, the text size, and also this is another one, the opacity setting. So if you want to have these prints a little bit more see-through, you can do this for both aggregated and individual. We'll just change it to 70. You can see it just gives you a little bit of a see-through look on those big prints. They're not as full of color. So they're the main customization options that we have. There's not a lot more to take too much note of. We'll look, you can see that this calculation setting is set by default to on each tick, which means our big prints are getting calculated on each tick. You can change it if you want to. I don't recommend it because the on each tick setting is the most accurate. There's some other little settings in here that you can change, like you can change the customization for this information box for that running delta count if you want to. And there's some scaling options as well in here if you want to have different sizes according to the volume. But I like to have them stock standard, all the same size. It just makes it a lot clearer. And like I said, I like to run them at a 10, just because it's getting relatively close to where it would have came in, where it would have actually came in on our chart. We'll click apply so you can just have a look. And you can see what I mean. It's kind of like, it's going to be a lot closer to where it came in for the actual tick. So that's TrackTicks big print indicator. You can see what it's capable of. If there's any questions, just go ahead and leave those down in the comment section below. If I didn't get to anything or you want to answer to something else, let me know. And if you're interested in the indicator and other order flow indicators like this, just go down to the description. There'll be a link to our website and you can check it out. There'll be a lot more information about the indicator and other indicators that we have. So if you're interested, check out that website link below.